For decades, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has shaped the lives of millions. Rooted in a deep history of territorial, political, and religious tensions, this struggle remains one of the most enduring conflicts of our time. Central to this is the ongoing dispute over land and identity. It's a conflict that goes beyond just one group or another. It's about the human right to live freely, safely, and with dignity. On one side, Hamas, an Islamist group that controls Gaza, sees itself as a defender of Palestinian rights. On the other, Israel views Hamas as a significant threat, with its history of rocket attacks and refusal to recognize Israel's right to exist. This cycle of violence has left countless families shattered, communities broken, and hopes for peace dimmed. But is there another way forward? Military solutions have been at the heart of this conflict. Yet history teaches us that force alone cannot resolve these deep-seated grievances. Yes, military efforts may weaken groups like Hamas in the short term, but they cannot erase the anger, the trauma, or the desires of those who feel oppressed. For every militant group dismantled, another often emerges in its place, sometimes more radical, more determined, more willing to act out of desperation. This was the case with groups like ISIS after the fall of Al-Qaeda. Why? Because the root causes of these conflicts were left unaddressed. The reality is the cycle of violence only deepens wounds. Every bomb dropped, every life lost, every home destroyed can create new generations who harbor resentment, anger, and hopelessness. These are the seeds of future conflict, passed down from parents to children, from one generation to the next. And it's not just Gaza or Israel that feels the impact. This conflict reverberates throughout the Arab and Muslim world. The suffering of the Palestinian people resonates deeply, creating solidarity and sometimes fueling wider regional tensions. It's a reminder that the consequences of this conflict extend far beyond borders. But amidst the violence, there is hope. And that hope lies in recognizing that military victories are never enough. The real victory will come when we address the underlying issues: the rights of Palestinians to self-determination, the status of Jerusalem, the occupation, and the blockades. Until these are tackled head-on, peace will remain elusive. The international community has long advocated for a negotiated solution, where both Israelis and Palestinians can live side by side in peace. The two-state solution, once seen as the most viable path to peace, now seems distant. But it's not impossible. The path forward requires more than military might. It demands dialogue, understanding, and a recognition of our shared humanity. It's about building bridges where there were once walls, finding common ground where there was once division. In the end, we must remember that behind every headline, every statistic, there are people. Mothers, fathers, children. Families who dream of a future free from fear. A future where peace isn't just a distant hope, but a lived reality. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict reminds us that peace is not just the absence of war. It's the presence of justice, of understanding, and of reconciliation. It's a lesson that applies not just to this region, but to the world at large. The journey toward peace may be long, but it begins with the simple belief that a better future is possible. And that future begins with all of us,